Hey. Hey. It's such a pleasure to be here. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, everyone, for having me. Thanks to the Conservative Union for having me to be first time on the main stage to talk about Veritas and guerrilla journalism. David Daleiden was supposed to be here today. He fell very ill a few days ago. He sends his regrets. He's currently under indictment in Texas, in Harris County, Texas, for an investigation of Planned Parenthood. And that's what I'm here to talk about today, how the government goes after the messenger and refuses to actually hear the message. But so I'm going to get right into it now. I hear there's an election going on right now, and there's some voter fraud happening. So first, I'm going to take you to New Hampshire, where we went on Election Day. So go ahead and play the first clip. So I decided to see if James O'Keefe could vote in the New Hampshire primary. Hey, I'm interested in establishing the domicile to vote.
Sure. What's your address?
I don't have my ID with me. Is that going to be an issue?
Yeah, well, there's a way to get around that.
How do I do that?
Well, we'll have you.
Okay. I was just wondering if I register to vote, how long do I have to live here for?
I was under the impression it was 30 days, but I'm not sure if they clarified that.
When did you?
I've just been here for just a little while, like a few days.
It's supposed to be, isn't it? I think it's at least 20 days.
Is it 20 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
The question about how long you have to stay.
How long I have to stay here afterwards? Yeah.
You can stay until the day after the election.
So like I could leave tomorrow?
Yeah.
So they're telling me you can just come into any state like New Hampshire, vote, be from someplace else, and leave the day after. But they don't have their stuff together, because look at all these other journalists of ours that went into these primaries, and look what they were told by some of the other poll officials. Play the next clip.
Okay, how long do I have had to be in New Hampshire to vote today?
Probably 48 hours.
How long do I have to stay in New Hampshire to vote today?
There's no requirement. You want to vote today, you might tell them that you're with your friend and you're here indefinitely, which sounds like it's true.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And if, of course, you say
not
you're-
100% true, but I understand,
but you're here indefinitely.
So in that case, there's 48 hours, 20 days, no requirement. This individual, Susan, who's not actually even a poll worker, she's pretending to be one, she's from Massachusetts, encourages us to break the law. And then what happens next? Well, next slide. I get a letter from the Attorney General of New Hampshire. I get a letter, kind of a threatening letter. And this is what happens to journalists who speak truth to power. This is what's happening to David Daleiden in Harris County, Texas. I get a letter and he says, preserve all your evidence, and quote, if a subpoena is necessary, please contact the investigator. So the evidence is all online. It's all on YouTube. We've got multiple officials encouraging us to break the law. They don't know what the law is, and they make it about me. So what do? Well, I could get scared. I could say, you know what, I'm going to back off. I could talk to my lawyers. But what does Veritas do? We released another video. So this is even bigger and better. This is the field director for Bernie Sanders telling us that he broke the law and registered to vote in a campaign office. He's not even from New Hampshire, he's from Colorado. Play the clip.
Did you have to vote in Colorado then?
No, I want to hear.
Oh, you did? How?
So to vote in New Hampshire, all you have to do is prove domicile. That's about it.
Oh, so you registered in Manchester? Yeah. How did you do that, though? What address did you use?
This one. Yeah.
Oh, really?
The office?
Yeah, Wendy.
So he admits, yeah, I registered to vote in the office. I'm from Colorado. And he even says later in the tape, I'm getting out of here the day after the election. And show the next slide. We got his registration form. The town clerk is online bragging about how he registered to vote at the Manchester campaign office. And so, like Mike Wallace used to do, sometimes I like to confront these individuals, particularly when they're on tape breaking the law. So play the confrontation of Hugo Palma.
Go, stop, get out. Okay, Luke, ready? Go. Ready?
James O'Keefe, Project Veritas, how you doing? Did you vote in New Hampshire here?
So all questions related to the question I was going to go through our community.
Okay, what do you think about law enforcement getting involved in this? Sir? Sir? No comment? Can you say voter fraud caught on camera? So this is a very clear-cut This is as, I mean, a lot of people talk about voter fraud, buses full of people. This is a case where someone's actually breaking the law, no question. And the Manchester town clerk corroborated it. So what happens? Do they investigate the fraud? Does the prosecutor get involved? No. Play the next slide. The Attorney General sends me a second letter. And this letter says, you know, please hold on to all your evidence. As with the first video, we are requesting you cooperate. So what they do is they make it about you need to cooperate with the government, and maybe you're not cooperating. Now, the New York Times, whether you're the New York Times, the Huffington Post, Project Veritas, or Captain Kangaroo, it doesn't matter who does the journalism. It's out there. It's corroborated by the town clerk. So, of course, I have 2 letters from an attorney general threatening me with a subpoena. What do? We release another video. And this is really what the conservatives are not very good at. They're very timid. And in order to expose the fraud, we have to be courageous. We have to be relentless, because it's everywhere. I mean, I get so many tips. I get 100 tips a week. I'm trying to grow my army to expose this stuff. In this case, this is unbelievable. These are Australians sent from the Australian Socialist Party to the United States to work for Bernie Sanders. And it's a violation of FEC rules because their trips are being paid for by the Australian government. Play the tape.
There it is.
48.
That's the Trump sign.
Hey, all right, let's do it. Are we going to get the big one or the little one?
You can choose. How do you feel?
Fantastic. You know.
Yeah, it's like an exchange program. So it's so the equivalent of the Democrats in Australia is called the Labor Party.
Yeah.
And they've sent us over.
They sent you over here?
Yeah.
So this story, they're admitting to being sent over by the Australian Labor Party. It's against the law. It's on tape. Play the next slide. This makes the front page of every single newspaper in Australia last week. Do you know how many mentions in the American media this received? 0. Think about that for a second. We talk about voter fraud all the time. We get a lot of tips, but this is clear proof of it. A foreign government is sending money to a political campaign in the United States. The foreign media is all over it, not a single mention. So what I think this is actually a very good thing, because I think people are going to stop watching the mainstream media and start looking to independent journalists. So surely with multiple voting violations, multiple federal election violations, and even the Manchester town clerk saying this is illegal, surely the chief law enforcement officer of the state of New Hampshire, appointed by that governor who's running for a Senate race this year, surely they would enforce the law on the books, right? Next slide. They sent me a third letter. And this letter says, as with the first and second videos, we're requesting you cooperate. Again, cooperation, the insinuation I'm not cooperating. Again, I'm a journalist. Any self-respecting journalist is not going to give your equipment and notebooks to the government. That's the expectation from our media, and I'm not going to put up with it. So now, this is actually in real time. We just received this letter a few days ago. And just to let you all know, Project Veritas has an army across the country. We have highly trained individuals. We're here at CPAC recruiting new journalists to go into the campaigns. Right now, we have multiple journalists embedded in the Hillary Clinton campaign. And if the Attorney General of New Hampshire is listening to this, I'd like to let you know that we have another video coming out very soon. And you will see me up there releasing that video in the coming days ahead. And stay tuned, because we speak truth to power. And we're holding a book signing just outside here in the hallway right after I'm done speaking. Thank you very much and stay tuned.